Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about the interruption, but I have four cats in the house that believe that we're having Olympic tryouts, and it seems as though that my head is for the gold. Anyways, back to what I was going to begin with. This is being bipolar. And yes, the squirrel is in effect because I have four cats going crazy. So, today's topic for Doobie Snacks here is addiction. Now, as I speak to you about addiction, I am smoking a cigarette, worried about cats pouncing on my forehead. Now, all of us, everybody out there has an addiction. It's common, okay? And simply put, an addiction is something that stimulates you or alters your condition. And you become, it's a habit. It's something your mind needs. So before we start going into all these different chemicals that are being introduced into your body through addiction, as you're growing up, your mind develops different ways, and I personally call it a highway system in your mind that takes the chemicals that your body is producing or you're introducing into your body and distributes it back to the body. The mind is taking these and making turnoffs for these certain chemicals. So your highway, superhighway, is basically using one or two lanes. There's no congestion, you're learning. As you learn, your mind expands, and so does your superhighway. But as you grow up, so does the chemistry of your body, so your mind has to distribute more chemicals. Well, with an addiction, and I am personally speaking with bipolar, as everything started, my hormones, when they kicked in, they triggered my mind to develop a different system of distributing my chemicals. So, as I was growing up, I was seeing things, hearing voices, and my mind was developing different ways of adjusting and learning how to develop it. But with all this going on in my mind, I also needed that one rush. I needed that one thing to get me away from reality and make me feel good. So there we go. I started smoking cigarettes when I was around 11 years old. When I was living in Dale City, I stole a pack from my dad. I learned that that really actually felt good. And I sat there and smoked half a pack of cigarettes in, I'd say, 20 minutes. I had no idea what I was doing. I got sick as a dog, and I haven't quit since. I do it every day. You know, that's my longest habit addiction that I've ever had, ever, other than sex. That one right there. It's another addiction that your mind craves because of an orgasm that releases so much in your whole body that you're either going to sleep or you're going to do housework for 3 days straight. Depends on how good the shit is. The same goes for drugs, in essence. Now, my definition of drugs, anything that is chemically made. Marijuana, shrooms, all that, no, that ain't a drug. That's a weed. You know, that's a mushroom. Hello. Everybody eats them every day. It just depends on which ones you eat, you know, and what you want to see and feel. Same with weed, man. Come on. Really? Oh, it's so dangerous. It is an addiction. I give you that. I love marijuana. I do. And it is an addiction. And the greatest thing about this addiction is I sit on my butt on the couch doing podcasts, listening to my cats rattle through the entire apartment, and enjoy myself. Am I doing something wrong here? Okay. But there are addictions that can totally alter someone's life. And those are dangerous addictions like the chemical drugs. Those can alter not only your life but everybody around you. That totally changes everyone's perspective of not only you or of the people that you surround yourself with. That question will always be around you now, no matter what you do. So you just suck it up, put it all behind you, man. It's hard to do, but in order for you to go forward on any kind of an addiction that changes everyone else for a negative reason, you've got to put it behind you. Let everybody know that you are sorry of what happened, and do your best to make it up to them. And then go beyond that. All right? Pay it forward, man. If you learned that you've made a mistake because your body is addicted to something that you have a hard time controlling, you've got to make amends. I've been doing it for 16 years, man. I have been trying my best to do the best not only for me, but the people around me. And I'm not financially set to do anything like that. So I do my best to spread the joy of actually having hope. Okay? If my addiction has altered anyone out there, and I know I have, I did $800 a week of coke up my nose at one point when I was working where it was convenient for me to get. Very convenient. And when you live in a situation like that, your mind, it gives you no choice. It's craving it. And it's right there in front of you. Not even the best addicts in the world can get past that. Truly. It's like playing the lottery, you know. There are a lot of people addicted to casinos and things like that. Well, you go to a casino, you got all these slot machines ready to rock. It's the same with addiction to drugs. You go to a party or a friend's house, you know it's there, and voila, it's a buffet, man. It's a seafood buffet, dude. You got crab meat, you got lobster, dude. You got hush puppies with butter. That's what it's like for an addict. And I gotta apologize for doing that for all the food addicts because, you know, voila, I'm one of them too. I've been a food addict since I was like breastfeeding. You know what I mean? Hello. Okay? That's the same thing. The foods that you put into your body is just like drugs that you put in your body. Everything that you introduce to your body goes through your brain, and that's where your superhighway comes into. So if you're addicted to something that is totally destroying not only you or the people that you're around, man, I mean, welcome to rehab. Rehab 101, they tell you that the first step is knowing you're an addict. And to me, that's not true. The first step for an addict is to see somebody else that you love either die from it or imprisoned from it or heartbroken from it. When you see somebody that means more to you than yourself become affected, that's when you know you've hit rock bottom, and that's when you find help. Hey, I'm an addict. I'm addicted to so many things. It's not even my brain. Not only is it a super highway with, I've got people, or I'm sorry, chemicals jumping off my bridge. Okay, that's how screwed up my brain is. But if I offend anybody on the way I'm talking about addiction, please let me know otherwise, because I mean, everybody has their own way of understanding and dealing with how you feel. No, you are your own individual self. Your experiences and what you've dealt with your entire life, you know, gives you your voice, gives you that push to do what you feel is right. So if you have something going on in your life that is altering others, and you feel like you need to change it, and you have people surrounding you that is giving you that help, take it. Okay, you can go to rehab, and yes, addiction, solving it, dealing with it, is a lonely process, man. It truly is, because at night, that's when it's the worst. At night, when you're laying down and your mind is going a million miles a minute, and you're thinking of plans on how in the morning you can wake up and you can get that craving. I mean, you can solve all your problems tonight while I'm getting ready to sleep. Tomorrow, I'll get that hit. I'll get that one thing that I've been craving. Whatever it is, whatever that addiction is. It's the way your mind works for cravings, for having that one addiction, man. I mean, for me, when I wake up, it's that coffee, cigarette, John Oliver, ABC News. Okay, that's the way I wake up. And then, if I'm not awake yet, I'll put on um, Husbands of Hollywood with Kevin Hart. That makes my day. That puts a smile on my face, you know. So that right there is an addiction, because in my mind I know that when I wake up, that's what I am going to do. That is a schedule. Well, since I am compulsive, that also feeds into my addiction of being compulsive. That's the way my mind works. So addictions can work for you, making your world less anxiety filled. You can take and schedule not only your compulsive urges that are small and common, yes, but if you don't fulfill them, you know your day is going to be different. You know, those kinds of impulses. So there are different things in addiction that you can combine that makes your world a little bit easier. But when you have an addiction that totally destroys all the organization your mind is trying to work with here, that's when it starts overwhelming your mind, and your emotions take over. Your body quits in certain areas. Your mind is having a terrible time trying to distribute all these chemicals that are coming into its body. That's why you just sit there numb. You don't know what's going on because your body won't let you move. So your mind takes over. You can never find a drug out there that will stop your mind. Okay? Even if you feel like your mind is numb and you're not able to think at all, your mind has a process of recalling the facts. If you got music going on at the same time, or you have a certain animal around you at the same time, your mind triggers that next time you're in that same situation. Without that drug, you'll get a recall. The mind does not stop. Okay? So when you add different addicting chemicals to it, you're altering its perception. You're going in different directions. And if you need help, that is the time that you have to decide whether you've hit rock bottom. And like I said, the only way you are going to hit rock bottom if you destroy somebody you love more than you do yourself. Can you look at somebody in the eye that you cherish more than anything and honestly say what's going on, who you really are, what you're doing to yourself and what you're doing to them, how you really feel about them, what they mean to you, what they are, the one person that you would change your world for. Whether it is a 6-month-old child or an 80-year-old woman, it doesn't matter who. But you need to find that person, because I got to tell you, being addicted, you're already feeling alone. But if you have in the back of your mind the knowledge that somebody you can talk to, somebody that you love more than yourself, that's your anchor. Use it. Okay? And yeah, okay. The second thing is acknowledging you're an addict. Okay. Yeah, you got to do that, or it's, you're just lying to yourself, and that's no way to try and get over drugs. Trust me, you have to go back to drugs just to find yourself. Terrible loop, right? But, these are a lot of conversations I used to have with certain people on my walkabouts. And being an addict, I'm addicted to cigarettes. I'm addicted to my cats. They give me emotions, which stimulates my mind. I'm addicted to falling asleep with the TV on. There are certain voices that I like to listen to while I fall asleep, like Leonard Nimoy or the dude that does Ancient Aliens. These are addictions that make my life a lot easier. If I have a pattern, then does that give me the compulsion? If I have a compulsion, does that make it an addiction? It's so confusing because it really shouldn't matter. All in all, we are all addicted to anything and everything. Because if you're not, you're emotionless. You're stoned. And I don't know of a single human being out there that did not have emotion. Even Spock had emotions. Come on, man. Sheldon's got emotions too. They came out, all right? It took Amy to do it, but they came out. That's what it's all about. If you feel like your addiction is overwhelming and taking over and destroying things that you're trying to build, then it's time. Okay? I mean, I personally do not feel like anybody should ever hit rock bottom. But most times, that's the only time that anyone truly listens to reason and common sense. I personally am guilty of all of it, because it took me rock bottom when I went to prison and destroyed my hero. My father looked me dead in the eye in a visitor's area with tears. Never in my life had ever seen him like that. And it was my fault. He had to move away from where we lived because of the disgrace that I did to the family name. My addiction did that. And in prison, I got the right help. I finally understood who I really was, what I was about. I got rid of a lot of addictions going through a year in a federal penitentiary. I went through the mental programs for the state of Washington. And I have to tell you, it was the best thing that had ever happened to me. I have been clean since, other than, burning the trees. But, that to me, that weed is weed. Come on, people. But anything else, no. I don't even drink alcohol. Not only is it bad for me, I'm diabetic. Yeah. But, smoking cigarettes in my trees, my cats, my TV, my podcasts, these are all addictions. I drink Canada Dry. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm addicted to Canada Dry. I'm addicted to my phone because now I can Google things, man. I can sit here, watch TV, watch a program, and I can look it up. If something confuses me, I can Google it. We all have our addictions. You just got to be smarter than the demon that comes from the addiction. And trust me, the demons do come. You just got to deal with them. Find you an angel, Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on you. You have to be the one to actually figure out your way of getting over your addiction if you want. That's the biggest thing, is you have to want it. It's foolish to tell everybody that you want to do it, and then it doesn't happen because you didn't want to do it. Something else came up and it shattered your life right then and there, so you had to hit a needle or a line or a bottle. Excuses come up every day. You got to battle them, A lot of people, like myself, keep defensive. I stay at home. I stay out of the world's progression because, all in all, it's quite dangerous, So, to me, addiction is in everybody's lives. Not only is it the person to the left of you, but the person to the right. The person underneath you and the person above you. Everybody around you's got an addiction. So let's treat everybody with a little bit more respect when you see something that you shouldn't, or that you have something against. Because remember, you have your own skeletons. But with addiction, whoever wants to get over what they're doing to everybody else, and whoever wants to surround themselves with people who actually care and will listen and will give you proper feedback because they feel it's best for you. It's all your choice. But then remember too, everybody has an opinion. Use it to what's best for you. Okay? If you want to get over whatever ails you or whatever you're addicted to, it starts with you, and you are going to be doing it 90% alone. So you are the deciding factor on anything that has to do with being addicted. All right? So when the Doobie Snacks comes at you live with Kitty Olympics going on, addiction is hard to get over, but it can be done. But you're never going to stop being an addict. Your mind got it. Your brain craves it. That's what it wants. So you got to fight it the rest of your life. All right, peace out and love. This is Doobie Snacks, being bipolar. Bye.